Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my vlog channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying my monthly, I hope you've been enjoying my month of vlogging. I've been really enjoying doing it, even though I got kind of behind. But I started nannying and I got behind. I talked all about it in my vlog the other day, I think, during my marathon of editing. But I decided that since today I'm kind of not really doing much, I just got home from nannying not too long ago, I decided that I was going to make today's vlog a Bellsbook corner because I haven't done one in forever, and I really wanted to review the Heir by Kiera cast. This is part of the selection series. I have, I believe, the entire series already reviewed. This is her new one. This one doesn't follow America Singer, which the other three did. This follows her daughter, who is the crown princess. She is the first in line to the throne. Follows Princess Adeline, who is America's daughter. She is the crown prince of Ilia, and at first, you know, when they first introduce it, they're like, there's never going to be another selection. That tradition has been broken. But the country is falling back into peril. During the first three selections, there was rebellion going on. There was two factions of rebels that were trying to overthrow the government, overthrow the monarchy, and here it's like 20 years after that. The caste system has been completely destroyed, and there are people, and at first it was really good, but now people are starting to rebel. They're protesting, they're getting discriminated against for what their parents' caste had been. So like if they would have been like a 4, which is not quite so bad, like they're artists and musicians. They're poor, but they're not that poor. So if their parents would have been a 4, they would like not get into college, they wouldn't get a job, and if they were like a 6, which were the one of the poorest groups, then they would really get discriminated against, and people were just really upset by that. So they started protesting, and her parents, Maxim and America, decide that they should put their daughter through a selection, not just so that she can find a husband, because she needs to, because she's like 20 and going to take over soon, but to also like give the people a distraction while they try to figure out who's behind the protest. So Adeline becomes a distraction, and she's really not willing to do it, but she knows it's her duty to do it. So she decides to go through with the selection, but she tells her parents that she can end the selection whenever she wants, and that she doesn't have to take a husband. Like, she goes into it thinking, I'm just going to irritate these guys and make them feel so lousy that they just up and quit and that nobody wants to marry me. And she goes in, she's like this awesome badass, but she is so absolutely mean to them. Like, she just walks in there like she's hot shit, and she just totally treats them like dirt. And some leave right away. She sends some home right away, like just after meeting them. She bases it like on what their first few sentences are. She's like, okay, you can leave, just with a wave of her hand. She's so badass. I love her. The style of writing in this is kind of different. Like, Kiera Cass is a brilliant writer. I love her selection series. Like, it's one of my favorite. Her writing style is very intricate. She's very detail oriented. She really knows how to hit the feels, and she really gets inside her characters' heads. What was different about this is just, it was a different voice. Like, it's not America Singer. America Singer, in the first 3, she was very shy, and she wasn't very confident about herself. She was very, like, hesitant to let her emotions go. However, Adeline is just a powerhouse. She lets you know exactly what she's thinking. But at the same time, she can throw up a blank wall and like just totally like make everybody around her not understand what's going through her head. Like, she's a blank slate. You could look at her and not tell what her emotions are, but in her head she's this gung-ho person. There's this line in here, she always repeats it. She's like, I'm Princess Adeline. She's like, I'm the crown prince, and nobody is as powerful as I am. And I think that's something that women everywhere should think of. Not like that they're freaking royalty, because nobody's royalty, but just like that you can do anything you put your mind to, and she definitely does. And it's so great, and it's nice to see the selection from a different perspective. Like with the first selection series, you were inside America's head, so you saw the selection through the person going through it. Like, you didn't see what happened behind the scenes, how the women were selected, how the activities were planned. No, it was basically you spent a lot of time with the girls in the selection. In this book, you really don't get to know too many of the guys who are there to be courted. It's mostly her perspective. You don't get to know too many of them. I think there's 35 guys that get invited to the castle for the selection, but you really only get to know 4 or 5 of them really, really well. You get to know Henry, who's a guy from Sweden, and he doesn't speak any English, so he has this translator named Eric, who he's not officially in the selection, but I just have this feeling that Adeline is going to fall head over heels for him and decide to make him her king. Like, I don't know, it's just a hunch. I just have this feeling. Then there's also this boy named Kyle, who is actually from the palace. It's one of the it's one of America's friends' children. She was in the selection with America, and she lived in the palace with America, and she had 2 kids. His name is Kyle, and he was put in by accident. Like, he didn't want to go through the selection. He wanted out. And at first they like can't stand each other, they hate each other, and then they come up with this relationship to like help each other out. Like, Kyle wants to get out of the castle, he wants to go to university and study architecture, but his mother won't let him. And America is like, well, if you help me figure out how to charm these guys, I will try to talk to your mother. So they start working together, and eventually they get kind of hot and heavy. Like, they have some intimate moments. And then who else was a big surprise? There's also this guy named Heir, and I think he stands a pretty big chance too. So yeah, I'm really excited to get the next one. That probably won't be out until next year. But I think she said there's 2 more books in this part of the series. Yeah, this is just really good. I think I've rambled enough. I haven't really given away too much of the plot line. Of course, gorgeous book cover, like with every single book she writes. I wish I could be the model who gets to put these dresses on and model for the book cover. I think that'd be fantastic. Again, you know, I really suggest reading this series. A lot of my sorority sisters are finally reading it, and I told them, I'm like, you tell me how you're doing, because I want to know. I want to know and talk about this with you. And I do know a couple other people from like American Eagle who I worked with that are starting to read it. So I have a feeling this series is going to get really big, really fast, just like the Matched series did, just like the Hunger Games. I hope and pray that there is a TV series about this. I know that there was talks about making it into a movie or a TV series. I think a TV series would be so much better, as long as they don't destroy it like they destroyed Pretty Little Liars. But that's, you know, my thoughts. So I do really recommend this series. I recommend this book. I don't believe you need to read the first 3 to understand this book. However, you should read the first 3 anyway, because they're amazing. I love them. I think that's it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment below and give me some book recommendations for next time, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye now.